Hello and welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best S24 Ultra tips, tricks, and hidden features. Now, I'm not going to be covering any of the settings because I did that in a previous video. So if you want to see that, click on the link at the top of your screen now. As there were so many features in the S24 Ultra, I thought it would be a good idea to do a separate video on all of the other features that I didn't cover in my previous video. Before we get into the video, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel out tremendously. Let's get into the video. Okay, so let's start off with the AI features. Let's take a look at the AI image edit. So let's go into the gallery. Then we're going to select the image that we want. Then I'm going to click on the pencil. And then we've got the little AI button over here. Click on that. And now we can start playing around with this using AI. So if I tap and hold on the background, you can see that's removed the actual background. I can move that around if I want. I can also do this for the middle part as well. So now we've separated the image out. So let's say now I want to remove the background. So just remove that. And then I can move this over here. Now you can edit this as you want. You can also add other images from the gallery if you wish as well, which is quite cool. Once you've played around with the image as you wish, you can then click on generate. Now it's going to use AI to actually fill out the image. So I'll wait for that to complete and then you'll see the results. As you can see there, it's generated a nice little image there, which is actually better than the original. Next is the live phone call translation. So let's say you can go into a call, like so, and click on call assist. What you can do is you can do live translation. So you essentially pick the other person, what they're speaking. So it can be German, Spanish, and it can be others as well. You have to download the language pack, which I'll show you in a second. Then you just pick what you're speaking. In my case, it's English. If you go back, we've got another option here, which is text call, which uses Bixby, use AI to do a text to speech. Now, if you don't see the language pack there, you can go into the settings and install the language pack. So if you go into the settings, then search language, and you want to scroll down to the language packs for translation, language packs for translation again, and you just pick the language that you want. So you've got the selection of these, then you can just click download and then download to download that language. Next, we have a weather background. So if we go into settings, then search for labs, go into labs, and then we have photo ambient wallpaper, which changes the wallpaper based on the time of day and also the weather. So if it's snowing, for example, it will snow. So turn this on. Once you've done that, go back to the home, tap and hold, then click on wallpaper and style, then change wallpaper. Scroll down, you can have photo ambient here. Tap on the image that you want to use as the wallpaper. In my case, I only have this image, so I'm going to use that. And then once you've set that, it's going to, once you click done, it's going to change that wallpaper again based on the time of day or based on the weather, if it's snowing, raining, etc. Next is circle to search. So as I'm sure you're aware, you can tap and hold on the home button here to do a circle to search. I have the buttons. If you don't have the buttons, it'll be like a little pill at the bottom if you have gestures. But then you can kind of circle what you will need, and that does a Google search. This also works if you're using the camera. So if you've got the camera open, you can actually do the same thing using a camera. You can also do things with pictures, and you can also zoom in as well. So if I come out of here, tap and hold, can actually zoom in before taking the or doing the circle action if you need to. And then it also works in videos as well. So anything on your screen, it can work with basically. Next up, we've got the summarize and translate features. So if you open up the internet, and here I've just got like a random article. So what you can do is click on the assist down here, then click on summarize. It's going to summarize the entire page for you. We've got some options up here, so you can do standard, which is on by default, or you can do like more of a detailed summary as well. Also got translate as well if you need that. Now, if you don't see these options, it's because it's not on. So you need to actually enable this feature. So to do that, go into your settings. And then here, you're just going to type browse. And you're looking for browsing assist, which is here. Go to browsing assist and just make sure the summarize is on. Next up, we've got the writing styles that you can do in texts. So here you can see I've got a text. And what I can do here is click on the assist button, click on writing styles. And then you're just gonna suggest some other writing styles such as professional, casual, social, with their little hashtags, and also Emojify, which replaces your words with emojis. You've also got chat translation here as well. So if you click on the assist, you've got chat translation there if you need it. Select what your language is, select what you want the language to go to. This also works in any other app such as WhatsApp, which is quite handy. Next, we've got the AI interpreter. So let's say if you're speaking to someone, you're not sure what language they're speaking, or you know what language they're speaking, you can't understand them. Just pull down the menu here. And then if you go over, you've got the interpreter here. So click on that. And all you need to do is tap on this to record a voice and say something in English. Tap once you've done. And that's going to translate it into German in this example, but you can download other language packs if you wish. Next, we've got the AI Transcribe Summary feature. So if we go into the voice recorder, which is here, click on the 3 lines, the burger menu, and go into settings, then the transcript assist, select the language, then go down to summaries, and then to turn this on, this is automatically going to create summaries of recordings that you do. So if you're in a meeting or whatever, you're having a conversation, then this will just provide you a summary of that conversation afterwards. Next, we have note covers. So as I'm sure you're aware, you can create some notes with the S24 Ultra. So if I go back here, I can tap and hold on to a note that I want to add a cover to, click on more, and then click on generate cover. That's going to use AI to generate a nice cover like that, and then click done once you're happy with it. Now, if you're using the notes and you're using the handwriting, as you can see here, my scruffy handwriting, what you can do is you can actually align this. So if you go over, down at the bottom, you tap on the little pencil with the wand, you can align that so it's straight. You can also convert this to text, so handwriting to text, like so. You can add it to your notes so you can copy. You can also do auto formatting of the notes. So let's say you've made quite a few notes. Then you click on the little assist button here, and then click on auto format. You can either do it headers and bullets or meeting notes. Once you tap on either one, you can see there, it will auto format that for you. Okay, so let's take a look at some camera and video features. Okay, so let's take a look at the camera and video features. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and open up the camera. And you need to make sure it's on photo 12 megapixel, because what you're gonna do is go into the settings. If 12 megapixel isn't highlighted or isn't selected, then the scan documents and text feature here isn't actually available. So make sure you turn this on, make sure you've got auto scan on, and then remove unwanted objects on. Then, once you've done that, you're ready to do the scan. So I've actually done a recording of me doing the scan here. So you open up the camera, hold up the document, it's gonna automatically highlight and select the document here. Then what we need to do is click on scan, and then save. And it's gonna take a scan of the document, as you can see there, and you can see my fingers removed as well, or my thumbs removed from the actual picture, which is pretty cool. The next one I want to show is actually the instant slow-mo. So you can open up any video of your choice. If you tap and hold onto it, it automatically slows it down for you, and you can let go to then speed it back up. Okay, so let's have a look at the appearance features. So first of all, I'm going to be showing the animations. So this is the S24 Ultra out of the box. And as you can see, when you're opening things, this is how it appears, which is fine, nothing wrong with it. But what you can do is, if you go into the settings, there is a way you can actually reduce the animations, and it will appear, it'll make the apps appear like they're opening faster. So reduce animations on in accessibility. Now you can see when I open it, you can now see the difference. It's a lot faster when I'm opening between apps. Next up, we're going to take a look at animated alarm background. So if we go into the clock, and then alarm, the bottom left, and click on the ... then go to settings, then alarm background, and you can see here I've got this AR emoji. Now at first you won't see this, because I've already configured mine. So what you'll see is something similar to this. Now you're in the alarm background, you can go to the ... at the top, then click on create using AR emoji. And what you'll get is something like this, where you can customize the way your emoji looks, the clothes, and what dance that it's doing as well. So once you've done that, you click save. And then you'll essentially get something like this, where once the alarm goes off, this is what you'll be woken up to. There's also a sound as well. I think I have the actual volume down. So that's what it sounds like. Once you're happy with it done, next up we're going to take a look at good lock. So I did kind of cover this already. Well, I covered one of the apps. If you go to the App Store, or the Samsung Store even, and then search for good lock, you can see the good locks here, so you need to install this. Now I'm not going to go through all of these, because this is a separate video in its own right, because there's so many apps here. But I'm going to go with Pentastic just to quickly show you this. So you can actually customize the air command, so when you've got your pen out, what that looks like. And then you can also customize pointer. You can also add a custom pointer as well if you want, so any image you can download off the internet. And then sound, so what sound is going to play when you take the S Pen out. And again, you can create a custom one if you want as well. I'll go back, but yeah, have a look through the apps. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video on this. I'm happy to, but yeah, this is going to take a long time going through each one of these. Then we've got split screen mode. So I'm actually going to hold my phone here because it'll probably slide all over the place. But essentially 2 fingers down at the bottom, you've got that little tab here. Then you slide up. It will do it for me. Put it at a really weird angle. Oh, hold on, I'm just being stupid. So you have to have something open, of course, and then swipe up. And so you can see here I've got the Samsung Store open, and then you can open something else, so that Pentastic, for example. Now you can do the split screen, which is obviously having more than one app open, because it's a nice big screen. It's quite easy to do that, and it makes sense. But here you've got the little ... If you click on that, you can swap these apps over if you want to. And also you can, if you click on the little star here, you can actually send these apps as like an app pair to either the home screen or the edge panel. The edge panel is this thing here that you got. So I'll click the ... I'll show you. So add app pair to home screen. And now if I go back, you can see here, this is the app pair. So each time now you tap on this, it'll open both of them up. Now we're going to take a look at the lock screen widgets. So if you just tap and hold here, and then go to wallpaper and style, you can see here, this is a lock screen, so tap on that. And what we're able to do here is actually add or modify the widgets. So you can see here, you can tap here, and that's going to provide you with things like the S Pen battery, which is on by default. I've got here the weather, and also the Samsung Health. But as you can see, you can add any one of these. It does give you some nice details if you click on one. The UV, the current temp and weather, sunrise, sunset, moon phase. So there's quite a lot here, so just pick what one you want. In terms of those, you've also got some of the notifications here as well. So for example, you want it icon only, as you can see there. So you know you've got a missed call, for example, but you don't know from who, or if you want it more detailed, then you can. It will actually give you a message alongside the notification. Just be aware when your phone is locked, then obviously people can see that. Like for example, if you've got emails coming in, you don't want other people just looking at your screen and be able to read your emails. I typically just go for icon only. And then once you're done, you can actually also from here customize the clock as well. So here I've actually got a theme, so I'm going to keep it because I like the look of that. If you wanted to, you could actually customize this. So if you tap any one of the clocks here, then you can actually go ahead and select, for example, the color. You can also show weather information alongside that. if you wanted to as well. So have a little play around with that. If you tap on one of the clocks that has like digits in it, you can actually customize the font as well. And also you can download font styles to match sort of your style. So I'm actually going to come out of this. So if I go back onto the lock screen, you can actually do, the home even, you can actually do stacking of widgets. So you can see here, I'm sure you're aware, you can tap and hold here and you can kind of add stuff to this in terms of widgets. So you've got all the different apps here, alarms, any type of kind of app that you've installed, then you can essentially add that as a widget. But what you can do actually on top of that is you can create like a stack. So here you can see I've got Netflix. Now if I move over, I've also got YouTube. So you can kind of like stack all of the apps that kind of serve a similar purpose. Like for example, all your video apps like Netflix, Amazon Video, Disney Plus, etc. If you tap and hold, you can actually, there's a button here for add stack if you haven't added one already, but in my case it's edit. Once you've done that, you can actually then select another app that you would like to have alongside that. So you select the app and then it will display as a stacked widget, so you can kind of basically scroll over and you can switch quite easily, which adds a lot of value because you've only got a certain amount of space in each of these screens, so adding them and then being able to swap between them is really useful. Now let's look at the gestures. Now there's just a setting I'll really want to quickly look at because I've touched upon the gestures in my last video, so I don't really want to cover too much of the same content. But if we go to, I think I'll scroll past it now, display, and navigation bar. So here you can choose between buttons and swipe gestures. Now I do prefer the buttons. So what you can do is if you go more options, you can actually switch the button order. So you've got kind of like the all app button there, the home button and the back button. You can swap those if you want. So I just wanted to quickly mention that. Or of course you can go for the gestures if you really wanted to kind of do some swiping as opposed to the buttons there and save up some of the screen room. Next up is brightness. Now of course you have the brightness bar there. That's not what I'm talking about here. So what I'm talking about is, I'll show you, if you go to the advanced settings, advanced features, sorry, and then you've got the video brightness. So you can actually turn up the brightness even more. And what that will do is it will just make the colors look a lot better. And you can see all of the kind of the video apps are selected here by default. So things like YouTube, Netflix, where you're watching movies, it just makes the color a lot better. So by default it's normal. So I've got that set to bright. Next up, you can, I'm going to show you customize the notification, the drop down menu, sorry. So here, if you just swipe down, as you saw, and then you go to the pencil, you can actually add the little icons here. So for example, top, so you've got the top little icons and apps you can activate, or little buttons even. So you'd want obviously the most popular ones that you use at the top. The way this works is, I'll just remove this one for now, is you want to select one that you use all the time. So mobile data, just tap and hold it and then you can move it up. Or actually just press on it. And then once you've done that, just click on done. That's the top set of icons. Then you've got the full. So you can modify these as you wish. So these are the available buttons that you've got here. And you can add these as you want into these. So this is where I got confused in the last one. So this one is where you would essentially drag whatever button you're looking for onto that and then click done. You can also go into your quick settings, instant access, and turn it on. So it's going to be like a similar experience you get to an iPhone. So you can swipe down from the corner and it's going to provide you with instant access to your settings. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's not going to do it now. Like that. So it provides you instant access as opposed to doing this, which then you can see it doesn't. You have to then swap down another time to get to the settings. You can just do it in one motion. That brings me on to the next feature, which is the extra dim. So where you're in situations where it's really dark, of course you can just go here and turn down the brightness all the way down. But let's say, for example, that's still bright, really like dark rooms. Then what you can do is you can click on the extra dim which I've got selected already, and then that will essentially dim the screen even more, just providing you with a less bright screen, so it avoids eye ache and stuff like that. Next up is the phone pop-up notification that you get. So say for example, you're getting a call coming in and you're watching something or you're doing something on an app and you don't really want to be disturbed. Now by default it takes up the entire screen if you're kind of not in something. If you're in an app, by default it does like a smaller display or pop-up message, which I'll show you in a second. So here you can see I just went into the phone app, click on the dot, go into settings, and if you go down to the call display while using apps, I've actually set this to mini pop-up, so that if I'm watching something or in an app and I don't really want it taken over my screen, then you can see here it does like a mini pop-up, similar to what an iPhone does at the top when you get a call coming in. Also enable this setting, which after calls are answered keeps them in the pop-up. So even once you've answered the call, it still keeps in the pop-up at the top there, so it's not taking up all your screen. This is a preference, you can enable that if you want. Next up, we've got the Fingerprint Always On. So if you go into your settings, and then go into security and privacy, lock screen, fingerprints. I'm not going to put my password in here because I'm recording, so I don't really like putting my password in things that I'm recording for security purposes, but essentially you put in your password here and then you've got an option for the Fingerprint Always On. Now what that does is when your phone is locked, or it's kind of either locked or sleeping, and you've got that kind of display that pops up here, it always keeps the fingerprint there for you, so you can see where you need to scan your thumb, basically. So even though that fingerprint sort of icon, or whatever you want to call it, the actual fingerprint sensor icon on the screen isn't on, you can still do it, but having it there just helps you know exactly where it is on the screen, and then you can unlock your phone. Next up, I want to talk about the edge panels. So edge panels are the little kind of panel here that you've got. So to access that, as you saw, you just swipe left on the screen bit here and you can see it pop out. So here you can actually customize this. So let's say for example, it's not actually appearing. Here it is. So I don't know why it didn't appear just then, but you've got the little, there's like a little setting icon. So if you tap on the pencil and go back, it just appears. You tap on that, or you can search for panels in the settings if you want. So here you can see I've got like quick notes, and then you've got all of the built-in default panels that you can select from. So you can actually stack these. So you can select multiple of these, and then you can kind of swipe over on the panel, which I'll show you in a second. But if you click on Galaxy Store, there's a lot here you can actually add. So some of them are paid, some of them are free. If you click on top 3, then you can see there's quite a lot here. You can do calculator, the control center with some more buttons you can add. Notes, which is I've got installed, which allows you to do some notes. Calendar, etc, etc. So if I go back, you can, and what I mean by you can stack these is, if you go over, you can see that, we've got quick notes. So I've got all the apps, quick notes, where I can just tap to add an item. If I go again, then that would allow me access to the content, to the contacts, or whatever one you've selected basically to appear on that panel. Next, we're going to take a look at the sound and notification features. First of all, let's go directly into the Samsung store, and what we're going to do is download the Sound Assistant. So the Sound Assistant is a part of the Good Lock collab, so if you've got the Good Lock installed, then you'll have that within the sort of the Good Lock application itself. Once you've installed this, then you go open. This here allows you to actually customize the volume panel. So switch this on, and then what you can do is click on custom, and it allows you to actually arrange the volume sliders. So you can move it around. For example, the layout, you can switch that between left and right. You can also customize what's shown here. So the volume level, you can turn it off or on. Dual app volume, and also the floating button. So that's the standard panel. So the standard panel would be this, like so. Then expanded panel. So this is where you expand out the options. So you turn your volume up or down, and then you click the dot dot dot, and you can see this is the expanded volume. So you can customize this as well. So toolbar functions, app volume, etc, etc. You can turn this off or on as you wish. Going back, another cool feature I like here is the actual voice changer. So once you switch that on, you can then turn your voice into different effects. So a little girl, middle-aged man, etc, which is quite cool. So go ahead and check that out. Another feature I really like is the ability to switch the sound output. So if you go into the settings, and then sounds and vibration, and then I'm going to go down to Seperate App Sound. You can turn this on. You select the application, such as YouTube or whatever. And then what you can do here is set the audio device. So if you've obviously got your phone, but if you've got like a connected Bluetooth device, then you can select that as well for that sound to come out of that. So you can essentially have one app out of your phone and one app where the sound comes out of the Bluetooth device, such as a headset. Then we've got the Find app. Now there's not much to see on mine, but if you've got multiple Samsung devices, it uses the smart things to actually go ahead and locate where your device is. So I've only got the one, but if you have multiple, that will show up here. Then let's take a look at just renaming the device. So you can actually rename your phone, just so that when you're sharing, such as Bluetooth, let me just come out of this, you can actually you can easily locate your phone basically. So if you go to About and Edit, you can then change that. This is the default that it's set for me. I think it reads your first name. So see, my name's Luke. And then just does Luke's and then S24 Ultra by default, but you can change it. So you can change it if you wish. Then let's take a look at the Dolby Atmos. Now I did cover this in my previous video, but there's one thing that I didn't cover that I want to cover here. So of course you've got the Dolby Atmos, you can set that on, and for gaming, which makes the sound much better when you're playing games. But you've got equalizer. So if you're listening to a type of music, then you can kind of adjust this to your liking. So either use some of the preset options here, or you can customize, use custom to customize those decibels. The next one I want to touch upon is the notifications. This is actually going to be the last feature I'm going to cover here in this video. So if we go to notifications, advanced settings, and then notification history. So this is really handy where you've got an app that's popped up and you've accidentally swiped off, just out of habit, where you're getting so many notifications, you kind of just swipe off and then think, actually, I needed that, or oh, what was that notification about? Well, you can now, in notification history, once you turn it on, you can see all of the history. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video useful. I'll see you in the next one.